Joe Biden insults Jamaica's intelligence, and our Dunce responses prove his point. Why do these imperialist and colonial leaders do these things and get away all day? Why do our educated leaders always choose to behave like imbeciles to suit the oppressors? Why? Does it have anything to do with balls? Do you realize that they were not born with three and you only came with two? You can use your intelligence and you have a right to explain where they are wrong and insolent. You also have a right to ignore when they go fishing for mediocrity out of you, which they will use to trap you by. When you don't respond as idiots and sheep, is where you defeat them. The government of Jamaica did not demand an insult from America. They demanded the exoneration of Marcus Garvey because we know they lied and framed our prophet. If someone lied that you stole something, so they held on to your possession to cover the cost and not even concerned about your possession as much as the lie they told and your character, you ask them to take back that lie. What do you do when they say you did it, but I forgive you? But they still hold on to your possession as well. Is that making it better or making it worse? Why on earth don't we stop accepting and teaching our people that SHIT spells sugar for every opportunity we get to tell them something sensible? Huh? Why? Hey everyone, it's Skywalker. Welcome to the channel. I am the same one who smells coffee a lot and get used to it, please. If I had a plane, I would sprinkle the entire Jamaica with coffee dust and then no one would have an excuse. We all need to smell the doggone coffee and get that inside our heads. This is a struggle to elevate. Look around you, Jamaican people. It's something we desperately need, and we must do that in unity. Sometimes, when some of us say, smell the coffee, the detractors come and tell the people to smell the shite instead. And many believe it too. Yeah, many believe it. We don't like it. No. Ma Golding exposes that he doesn't know how to manage cost of living, but they believe he will lead Jamaica anywhere else but in the cow's butthole. What revelation do you ever need more than revelation? Huh? That is one serious case in point, and that's why I use it. No, it's a serious case in point, isn't it? Had our media simply ignored the stupid news about Biden's pardon and Marcus Garvey, it would be better for Jamaica. If you love to answer to oppressors prescribed mediocrity at you and teach your people so, mediocrity demons will possess your nation and never will be exercised. Huh? When they offer you prescribed mediocrity, you accept it and then you give it to your people. Huh? Mediocrity will possess you and your entire nation. You have to think more like Marcus Garvey. It's always a battle of ideas, right? Didn't you hear that guy down in Israel? What's his name again? I'm not even. I don't even want to. It's one of Mark Golding's cousin, Netanyahu. That's what he said, right? And said he's going to beat us with the battle of ideas, or in the battle of ideas, and he wants the Europeans to join with him. But you have the audacity to find happiness in your accuser, doubling down on the accusations. I am very upset with my people right now, but but not Mark Golding, the British man. I expected that from him. That's what they do. And history will prove that Michael and Norman Manley would do the same thing. Isn't it? No, isn't it? We love to stick to too much sentiments instead of sticking with the truth. Why don't we favor the smell of coffee instead of the smell of their filthiness? Today, Skywalker comes to you with a heavy heart, burdened by the weight of our collective struggles and the injustices that have plagued our people for too long. Yet it is not the offenses against us in themselves that trouble me. The heart is in the fact that we are taking too long to develop that discernment necessary to win our way to freedom and survive their oppressions. That's why the hurt comes. Hmm? That's where the hurt comes most. We are not like desperate to progress in terms of our resistance. The legacy of Marcus Garvey, a beacon of hope and a champion for our rights, reminds us of the fight for dignity and self determination. Yet, we find ourselves in a world where empty gestures and insults are presented as half measures and progress, which we should celebrate. These are the little things that the oppressors force us to know, or when they want to know if they can beat us in the battle of ideas at any incident. My friend, idea created this entire universe. It is the beginning of all things. You can refer to it as the word. Learn to read and spell, and you won't eat your name and a pulla. Life is just not waking up in the morning, going to the bush. If you go to the bush, go to the work. If you go to the work, or you are out on the street, you go to a dance, you go watch a Sizzler concert, you shout out for Adi and me daddy and stuff like that. There is a bigger picture, and most of it is concerned with the battle of ideas or the battle for ideas. Without being versed in that battle, you will always be a oppressed people. So try to distance yourself from ignorance as far as the east is from the west. Marcus Garvey would tell you that. The recent pardon of Marcus Garvey by Joe Biden is a spark of imbecility enforced against us. Or let me try to put it in a different way. The recent pardon of Marcus Garvey by Joe Biden is a stark reminder of this, that the battle of ideas will be lost if we stay ignorant, and ignorance is a choice. Listen, I just said that ignorance is a choice. Ignorance is a choice, and that's why it becomes the unpardonable sin. While some may see it as a step in the right direction, when Biden claims that he pardons Marcus Garvey, we know it is merely a superficial act that fails to address the root of the injustice against Marcus Garvey. Not against America, against Marcus Garvey. He is the victim and he is the one being pardoned. Where is chronic laws to say the SYM to somebody, huh? A pardon implies guilt, and our hero, Marcus Garvey, was not guilty. We demand full exoneration, not insolent attempts to placate us. And if we don't get full exoneration, don't talk to us. If you're not going to exonerate him, don't talk to us. Our people have been used and exploited for generations, from the chains of slavery to the economic bondage imposed by institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. We have endured suffering and hardship, yet we have found new partners like China who have ordered us, who have offered us honest agreements and a path to progress. That's what China have done for us. But even now, we face opposition from those who seek to maintain their control over us. Uh-huh. In Burkina Faso, our brothers and sisters have faced unimaginable suffering at the hands of oppressors who use terrorism to destabilize and steal their resources. Yet they have found a leader in Captain Ibrahim Traore who has risen to the challenge and fought for their freedom. We must stand in solidarity with them and recognize the bond that unites us as Africans, no matter where we are in the world. Because look at this. Trump didn't even get into office good yet, but he already start hurling lies, the Mark Golden type lies at Burkina Faso because he wants to attack them because they dare to want to be free. At least live as free people in the world, enjoying the fruits of their own labor instead of giving it to America and all the terrorism that these Western people are funding to destabilize that country. Don't think it is far from us because these imperialists are funding terrorism in Jamaica. You heard it right. And they have these guns stashing away to destabilize Jamaica too. So it's not far from us. It isn't. Our history is filled with leaders who have betrayed us, who have chosen to align themselves with our oppressors rather than stand with their people. We must learn from the past and refuse to accept mediocrity and half measures. We will always have the Dayton Campbell and the Justice Pancans among us. We will, always. We must demand full autonomy and true recognition of our rights and our heroes, even with the people like the Judases. We still have to fight and be wise about it. We need to recognize Marcus Garvey's vision was one of unity and strength, of a people who would no longer be hewers of wood and drawers of water, but who would rise to claim their rightful place in the world. That's all we want. We must honor his legacy by continuing the fight for justice and self determination. Self determination. Self determination not to work for the fruits of our labor and give it to colonial powers. And then we suffer just to survive without a day of joy in our lives. We must reject the superficial gestures and demand real change. And we cannot allow Joe Biden to come and steal our energy for a democratic victory in the next election. Steal the energy of our prophet, Mosiah Garvey, to use it against us. When Marcus Garvey came, Britain had moved to remove the bondage from shackles to a kind of virtual reality where the slaves would would um would be happy believing they were free, which they proposed as independence. That's what they called it. Why did they? Because the struggles, the riots, and all these things was proving that the people in bondage were getting stronger and stronger. And if it stayed that way at this day, they would all be overthrown all over the world. As shocking as it sounds, it wouldn't only be in Haiti. They would have been defeated in Jamaica, in Haiti, in every single way because the resistance was getting that strong. Maybe even in America too. So they had to change it from shackles to the battle of ideas. And that's why they came up with this um, virtual reality system where you would think you are free, but you are still a slave. And this is why they use a battleship. named Christianity to 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 use that image of God to instill their masterdom in your mind. And may remember when your kid is born, your child sees the white doll as the symbol of beauty, right? And even you are speaking in their language when you, otherwise it's not holy when you go to church. And each altar you go to in every single church symbolizes the throne of England, and you worship the master. It's subliminal, but it's a long story for another day because it's a battle of idea. So the God is the crown. So when you hear the governor general praying and saying he's thanking the Lord for the right to roll over 144 square mile, who is the Lord? It's directed at the throne of England, right? So every church has a throne symbol, like at the altar. And that was how it was set up from bottom to the top. Still, the hearts of tyrants can be so evil that they cannot afford any goodness. Not no goodness at all. So the very idea that they would make you feel happy as if you are free, they themselves could not afford. Because everything you have they will want and they will always want more. So it will never work. Just like how the PNP is captured by these capitalists, and it's just the same thing as the colonialists, right? You will be marginalized. You will pay all the taxes, and they will be okay. They will be their lives will be paid for, but they will still be making all the money. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. Our people were forced to live lifetimes merely struggling and hardly finding a day joy in their life. Yet the fruits of their labor would go to their oppressors and none would be shared with them. And that's what Trump wants again from us. You get it? And that's why guns are being stashed in Jamaica to fund terrorism. Marcus Garvey saw their move that this was only a trick. That's when when they came with that independence thing. Yes, Marcus Garvey was no imbecile. He saw that it was just a trick that would lead to enslavement, this time by economic bondage. Marcus Garvey was determined that we must have our own autonomy. He also proposed ways to do so. Norman Manley, the British man, was happy with the British arrangement and wanted to begin with the British Constitution for desperate Africans as soon as possible. He fought, he fought against Marcus Garvey with venomous force, and that even passed on to the next generation in Michael Manley. After Norman succeeded in thwarting Marcus Garvey's progress, Marcus left Jamaica heartbroken, thinking that his people were something else, to put it that way. These Manleys wanted to blot out Marcus Garvey's name from the records of history, but Edward Siaga was not having it. Moreover, Rastafari, whom he influenced, was not having it either, because Marcus Garvey influenced Rastafari. For Rastafari, Marcus was next to Haile Selassie. Michael Manley used a kind of polarizing technique to steal and utilizing Haile Selassie. He stole and utilized Haile Selassie's energy and raised himself above Marcus Garvey in that same one move. With the help and support from a Rastaman, he claimed that he, Michael Manley, received a rod of correction from Haile Selassie, and Michael's name was Joshua, like the Bible prophet. To show how naive our people are, He used this to steal Haile Selassie's energy to win the election and raise himself above Marcus' fame at the same time. Marcus was demoted as manly was Joshua with the rod of correction endorsed by Selassie. And Marcus was turning in his grave to see those that fought him in his goodwill for Jamaica being raised up above him. Right? The serpent bruised, bruised his head with his the serpent bruised his head or stepped on his neck with his heel as they love to do. All across Jamaica, Rastafari were running around, hailing Joshua with the rod of correction. The enemy's heel had bruised the head of the prophet, and Jamaica's history of creating traitors like Dayton Campbell and Justice Panton only continued. Now, now, it left Edward Siaga and Marcus Faithfuls to fight tooth and nails for him to stay relevant in Jamaica. Until today, the history of him is still being suppressed in many ways. In many ways, we have a lot of what you call word sounds, people gassing about, oh, do this, do that, but no one is making any move much. Today, Joe Biden, by casting new insults at the name of our prophet, that's what Joe Biden do, and by casting new insults on the name of our prophet, is conditioning the minds of Jamaicans again to steal the energy of Marcus Garvey and win votes for the Democrats in America when the next election comes around. Because they even had Kamala Harris, and even with her, they couldn't get the votes of most Jamaicans in America. So they think that the energy of Marcus Garvey will let the people agree to go fishing. All right? Let us stand together, united in our cause, and let our voices be heard. We will not be taken for imbeciles, and we will not be silenced. Neither will we be placated by empty promises. We will fight for our rights, for our dignity, and for the future of our people without being compromised by induced, prescribed, or enforced mediocrity. Mind shines you for evil is sorcery. Think on these things, my people. Peace out.